Welcome to the next podcast of Millinery.Info. I'm your host, Lauren Ritchie, and it's so wonderful to welcome you to this episode of the Millinery.Info podcast. In this series, we talk to leading milliners from around the globe and welcome them into your ears and studio. Today, we're very excited to welcome Paula Kasu, who's a milliner based in Helsinki, Finland. Paula makes beautiful straw braid hats, and she's here today to share about her process and launching her brand. Just want to take a moment before we dive in to say thank you to our wonderful Patreon podcast sponsors for their support of this series. It wouldn't be possible without them. Jennifer Hertz Millinery, the Millinery Retreat School of Millinery, Hatblocks Australia, Hat Academy, Hatters Millinery Supplies, Judith M. Millinery Supply House, Hats by Lego, Lifted Millinery, Louise McDonald Milliner, Millinery Australia, The Hat Magazine, and Barcelona Hat Days. You can find a link to each of these businesses in our show notes, which you can find on your podcast app or over on the Millinery.Info website. Also across on our website, you'll find some photos of Paula's work, and you can also check out her Instagram and the Millinery.Info Instagram to see some more. Thank you so much for listening today. If you would like to show your support of the podcast series, please head across to our Patreon page, where you can choose to support us by becoming a Patreon supporter. There you can choose from a small thank you to Millinery.Info or Millinery.Info You Inspire Me. If you'd like to hear your business name mentioned and featured in our monthly newsletter, you can become a Patreon podcast sponsor there as well. Thank you so much for joining me on the Millinery.Info podcast. It's so exciting to get to share the story about your beautiful hat. Can you take us back to how millinery came into your life?
It's just a couple of years ago. Actually, it's really short time of what I have been doing hats, and it was a little bit by a coincidence. I have a background in fashion. I did study fashion design like 20 years ago and graduate when I was 25. Then I had my own label for 7 years, but it never felt like this is actually what I really want to do, because it was not that creative to have a label when you work solo. You have to do everything by yourself, and from the giving the notes to manufacturers and quality check and all that thing. It was a lot of sitting by a computer, and I felt I want to do something more creative. And then I realized I've always been more about accessories, and I've always loved shoes and bags and jewelry. So there are not that many options in Finland where to study accessories. So I applied and got in the University of Applied Sciences to study to be a goldsmith and jewelry designer. And it was really what I really wanted to do, and I was so happy about it. But at the same time, I realized I'm pregnant, and it was the last year that they organized that they quit the whole program.
Oh, wow.
And that was really sad. I had my first child, and then I had my second one, and I was at home over 5 years, just being with kids at home, which is in Finland, being home for 5 years is really radical, actually, because we have really, really cheap daycare, but I didn't want to put them too young in the kindergarten. So, but after 5 years, I had to figure out what to do. I couldn't go back to the school because there were no program where to go. And I didn't have my old job either. I quit that company when I realized I'm pregnant. And so I thought, what could be fun and what could be really like opposite of being home and not doing anything creative for 5 years. And but it have to be easy. It have to be something that fits in my life when I have two little kids and husband who works a lot as an entrepreneur. And then I found the school. It was nearby our previous home, just like 20 minutes walk. And I got in there, and it was really, really super fun. And I really got hooked at like first day when I went there that I could actually do something just for myself and being creative every day. It was full-time studies for a year, and
Oh, a full-time study in millinery.
yeah, yeah. It's how it works in Finland that you usually study full time if you study something. So it was all
Amazing.
the hats for a year, and then you can't really see hats in Finland. So I wasn't first sure what I'm going to do in millinery, like. Um, but because yeah, it was really new, and I have no like I didn't know what you can actually do. Like what I didn't know any materials. I didn't know anything about it. It's so different from fashion and clothes. The techniques are different. The machines are different. Everything is different. Yeah.
What was the structure of the course? What did you learn in it?
Um, I could actually do only 1 year there. It's 2 year studies, but I have a background. I did the same. I did study at the same vocational college. So the level, it's not a university studies. So I did seamstress studies after my fashion design studies, and that's why I could do only for 1 year studies there, only the millinery part. But millinery studies are divided in, I think, 4 sections that we do felt hats, and then we do summer materials, and then there were textile hats, doing
Like
patterns.
fabric?
Yeah, like fabric
Yeah,
hats.
fabric flat pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the fourth one? Maybe it was draped hats. My kids were a lot of sick during that year, so I had to skip something, and I didn't never do those draped turbans or so. So
Yeah.
I think there were those 4 things during the year. But I also did some leather work because the teacher
Cool.
Anu, she also teaches leather course, and I applied if I can do that too, and I did that, and it was really good as well to learn those techniques.
Yes. And who was teaching the course? Was it just the one teacher the whole way through?
Yeah, Anu Kaukola. She has been teaching there for 16 years, I think. Now 18. And she's really lovely and supportive, and we are still friends.
Fantastic. What a good relationship.
Yeah.
You finished that. Did you have a clear idea of what you wanted to do, having owned your own business before? Did it feel like an obvious next step to start something, or how did
Yeah.
that begin?
Yeah, there are no places to go after. I don't know where all the other millionaires go. I think they just continue studying something else because usually you do vocational college after you do the basic education or upper secondary school, and you don't you don't really do any designing there. You just learn the techniques and the materials. So. mm I think most of the who graduate from there study something else. And for me, it was really clear because I have been an entrepreneur previously, and I'm old enough to know how things work. And so it was really clear that I will put up my own business, and I just start doing those because I really loved doing hats at the school. So, and I I was thinking that I at least have to try and see how it goes because I had no other plans, you know. I needed that for my life. Then I really needed that now. So I'm happy doing hats.
When you first started thinking about launching your business, what was your approach? Did you build a collection? How did that start off?
Um, uh, I decided, like when I was studying, I realized that you can't really be ready to make your own company after studying only for 1 year. It feels such a, like short time, too short time to learn anything. So I was really like, okay, I will start doing hats, but I have to learn the techniques at the same time. Just learning by doing, and I that's what I have been doing. I decided I learned one portion of the side of the hat making at first, and then I go the next, and that I started with some materials, and I always try to make it my own. I have to try to uh, I try to figure out which materials are for me and then how to work with them. So I end up with my own designs, and the summer materials have been since the school my favorite thing to do. Even though nobody teaches it, it wasn't part of the course to do the braid sewing. So
Yes.
that's my own really what I really wanted to learn, and I've been learning it by just doing and through errors and success. And next I did some felts, and I don't do really collections. I do designs, and I just add them to my collection, and
Yeah.
because I've been doing this for such a short time, and I have millions of ideas what I really want to do. So um, I don't feel I'm ready to do collections that way. I do collections for other brands, so like capsule collections, but for myself, it's just like um, it's through inspiration, and I just want to try things.
Yeah. The braid has become quite a signature of your work, and one of the things that caught my eye was the beautiful scalloping edge that you've formed with it. How your background in other textiles and fashion design, I guess, informed that despite, what you said, you don't feel like you've got a lot of experience, but it's evident you have a strong idea of an aesthetic and how to develop a design. Where did you begin with the braid? You said it was something that was on your wish list. Did you just buy some braid and start sewing? What was that exploration like?
I started at school already. First, I tried raffia braid, and I thought I really loved art because you can do collapsible hats and travel hats. But I'm not that inspired that anymore. I think I've done that because it's not that versatile than straw, wet straw is. So I have now moved on to do straw, but it's just I didn't feel the hat blocks at the school. We didn't have any like fascinator hat blocks. They were really old and not my style at all. And um, I really wanted to do my own design since the beginning because I'm a designer, so that's my background. I want to do my own thing instead of like copying the basic hat. And I realized that with the straw braid, it's so versatile, and I can do those crazy silhouettes and um, different proportions. And so I really fell in love with that. Even though I don't have a proper machine for that. I'm dreaming of
You
one.
stood on I say usual, your normal sewing machine.
Yeah, I bought that. We didn't have the proper machine at school, but they were like this three arm zigzag heavy duty, really ugly big machine, and uh,
Hefty.
I realized that I have to have. It worked quite okay, so that's my technique to use use straw braid, and it has worked all right. But I'm really dreaming of those beautiful small straw machines. They're really really lovely, and they're really really small. I could have like those
Yes.
10 of those instead of this huge one.
And with the chain stitch as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's different stitch. But I'm not sure anymore if that's like good or bad thing to do with zigzag. So maybe
Yep.
it's a like good option. I've never tried that like doing other way. So
There's so many ways to form different shapes. So it's so interesting to hear different explorations and to see how something's evolved. And I think the technique's really interesting. You managed to form these really unique designs.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where do your hats go in the world? You mentioned that there's not a lot of hat wearing or summer hat wearing in Finland. Where are your hats getting worn?
Um, well, I have like clients from Finland. I do have those. Not that many, but I do. There are people like to dress in summertime because if after long winter they like to put hat on and express themselves with clothes. But at the moment I sell quite a lot to the abroad to US and to Europe, and for somehow I've been really lucky that people have been really interested in my work here and abroad, but especially here because it's a weird thing. They don't see those things. They have been like people have been really surprised that somebody's doing hats and weird hats, especially. So
Oh, hats.
I've been invited to like these design exhibitions. So my work at the moment is divided in three parts: that I do client work, and then I do design work for other designer brands, and then I do exhibition hats. And I think it's a quite fun way to work.
Yes, it's amazing. What do the designer collaborations look like? What's that
Um,
process like?
but I haven't done those that many yet, but I did design when I was already at school already. I designed for this Finnish brand, which doesn't sadly exist anymore, but it was really famous, Samuji. And I knew their style, and then the head designer asked me to design hats for that collection. But
Oh,
they are like frames. I didn't have that many options of materials because I have to order everything online.
yes.
And so I used only black straw for them, and then I did those silhouettes which would go lovely with their clothes. So and
And
then
did you make them as well as design them?
I actually also made them for their shops. So and that's what I do. I do everything by myself.
Amazing.
Yeah, atelier
A
work.
one-man show. And have you done some other collaborations as well, or
I have,
some in the
but they
works?
haven't been published yet, so it's next
We'll
year.
have to wait and see then.
Yeah. Next spring, and I think autumn they will be published.
And what about the exhibition work? Could you tell us about that?
That was a super super lovely thing. Like last spring, my favorite Finnish uh, gallery, local galleria, they represent Finnish um, master artisans who do mostly like glass or wood or other materials for like interior things. And I have loved them since I found them like 10 years ago. And they asked me to join their summer exhibition. And I was,
Wow.
hey, is it true? And I decided I have to then, like, it's a really nice opportunity to make my work further and do just like one-offs. And so I decided a theme that I want to do flowers, and I wanted to really explore the materials and shapes and so on. And yeah, I it was super fun to do that. To do actually like there were no other like fashion things there, just like wooden things and ceramics and glass and paintings, and then there were my hats, and it was really really fun to go that direction. And I feel I'm like part of now the design scene here in Finland, maybe more than the fashion scene
Yes.
or in the middle,
Interesting.
and the
Yeah.
craft scene. They're like I think I'm on the crossroad of those three things, and that have progressed. That I have two exhibitions coming next year, which is
Wow.
really fun.
Yes.
And yeah, but it's really nice to do those exhibition things because then you can do really like I don't I don't feel I can do really super expensive hats for my clients. But for exhibitions, I can do like this design artwork thing.
Like really lean into the artisan aspect of making.
Yeah, exactly. I can spend hours for one hat.
You have a beautiful studio space which you're joining me from today. When did you set this up and what were some of the first things that went into it?
I found this just 1 year ago. I used to work at home because my kids were sick all the time, and that was the easiest way to work. And then this is a shared place. There are other creative people here. There's one illustrator, and then there's people from theater, like Eili's doing scenography just around behind that wall. And it's really fun to have your own community here. I don't know that many milliners in Finland, so it's not have a millinery community. So it's fun to have other creative people with you. But I have like a big room for myself. I have a window with which I never thought I would have, like a shop window.
Yeah.
That I have now, and it was super lovely surprise. And then I have my bunker, like Christina have. She has her own bunker, so I have my own where I sew. This used to be an old meat shop, like from the 19th.
Interesting.
Yeah, this building has it's from 1920s, and it used to be a meat shop. And where I sew, there's a really thick door, so I can close it so the other people they don't hear when I'm sewing. So
Well,
it's
on
cool.
the hefty machine.
Yeah, it's a lot. So
Do you
yeah.
have people, customers come into your studio space?
Yeah. I first thought I want to operate only that way, that people come here and they will see, because it it's hard to know how the hair is on your head without trying them. So I do sell
Absolutely.
now online too, because I have customers so far abroad. So, but people are coming here,
Fantastic.
and we decide time. I don't have like open doors because that takes
Yes.
much time, and there are not that many people in Helsinki to actually keep a shop. It's insane to do that. But
By appointment.
this is a small village, Helsinki. So and everybody buys online. But I want to do this like I want to do things differently to make people actually wait for something to do, actually made to measure. It's a
Yes.
nice way to make people realize they can value the thing, and actually like handmade for them for their own size. So, but people come here, and then I take the measure, and then we decide the design, and then I do that in a couple of weeks.
Do you find your online customer is purchasing the stock or the designs you already have, or they've used that as a tool to find you and then they want something a little different or special?
Yeah, they find my customers, they find me through Instagram. That's really lovely way to present your work, and usually, yeah, they can a little bit customize it if they know what they want. Of course, they can change the ribbon and a little bit the size, or yeah, yeah.
And where do they go around the world? Do you get to see where they end up?
Yeah, through Instagram, it's so fun.
What a good tool.
Especially the ones which were in the summer exhibition, because they are still the ones which are left from the exhibition. The gallery, they sell online to everywhere around the world. So most of my hats from the summer exhibition, even though it was like they were um, in real life, they were in this small village in Finland. They were online at the same time. They are online, and it's fun. They sold things to US, and then I didn't know where, but then I saw from Instagram where they went and traveled around the world.
Very cool. What's next on your project list? What have you been working on?
um, I'm working with these collaborations at the moment, and then I'm working on designing my own hat blocks. Uh,
Ooh.
I've been waiting for that, but I felt like I don't know enough how to design those. So I've been studying my own hat block collection and seeing the hat blocks in Pinterest and what what are the options, what are good portions, and so I want to do that with the Polish hat block makers, and of course I want to because I've been to Barcelona hat test for a couple of times, and not this year, but last year, Christina taught how to do the cork blocks. So I've been waiting for that to like 1.5 years, deciding where to start. But I have started it now to work with the cork,
Yes.
and so I really want to do my own blocks one way or other.
Can't wait to see what comes out of
Yeah,
your design process for this, particularly with your such a strong design background. It's going to be
quite simple
really
thing
cool
though.
to watch. I think you're so simple, but I'm very excited. When you develop a design or a concept, are you someone who sketches and draws in terms of development, or is it a really hands-on process for you? What does that look like?
I do have my sketchbook with me all the time, but the sketches are really like super simple. But I have to put the ideas there because I don't remember them later on if I don't draw them. Yeah, I like to draw, um, but then you really have to try with the material if that works. So I work both ways. I do really material based things, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I have my sketchbook. Yeah,
It's interesting the translation from something that's like a 2D sketch into a hat is so three-dimensional, and
yeah,
there's so
yeah,
many variables that you can't necessarily take into account until you're, say, holding the material and seeing how it forms and comes together. You
yeah,
can't fight those materials to be something they're not.
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
And how was, you mentioned about how you had your own fashion label. How has it differed launching a millinery brand? Were there
It's
skills that really informed it and supported it, or what's been your experience with that?
um, it has been really wild, right, to launch a hardware label. I thought I didn't have any expectations how it goes. I just wanted to do it and see how it goes. And I feel really lucky that I can do this in that way, that I can do so much design and being so creative. But that's, I think, by just lucky coincidence that I got actually quite nice publicity here in Finland from the beginning, thanks to the stylists who found my work. Um, I did this when I was still studying. I did these hat exhibitions because I didn't have an atelier then. I didn't know where to show my hats, but my husband owns restaurants and they are closed during weekends or Sundays. And I took those places and um, kept for one day hat exhibitions and
One day hat exhibition.
yeah. Yeah, because I
What a
wanted to
genius
show my
idea.
hat somewhere. And it was, I didn't have money, so it was free to use those spaces. And my husband is really supportive with these things, and they are lovely places, restaurants, and the tables were already there, and I just put the hats on the tables, and served coffee for the people who came, and yeah, and then
What a great marketing strategy.
and I had a couple of Finnish stylists there, and the other stylist works for Finnish women magazines, and I think they are almost the only ones who take these editorial pictures. And she has been super nice to me and borrowed my hats for many times. And the other stylist actually works for the president's wife. So I got to do hats for her, and
Very
it's the
cool.
biggest publicity you can actually have in Finland because it's for state visits. Nobody wears hats in Finland except for state
It's
visits.
just state visits.
So it was super, super
So
nice, lovely.
did you know that the hat was going to her when it was
Yeah,
made
I
and
designed it for her, those two, to go with the, with the outfit. So it had to match.
what a cool project.
Yeah, it's been really lovely. And like really nice way to start your brand because it was right in the beginning when I was starting my own label. So
Wow.
um,
So being based in Finland, there's not too many hat makers around. How have you found connection, meeting other milliners and networking in the industry?
well, I was struggling at first when I was studying millinery, and I couldn't see contemporary hats anywhere. So, but then I went to the school's library and I found Hat Magazine, and that was that has been my Bible since then. I was so surprised how good quality magazine there is, and I read them all straight away, and then I decided, okay, these people and this magazine, and there are so many competitions. I found it so much fun that there are competitions to do millinery, and I decided I have to participate in every competition while I was studying, and I got in three, and I actually won one prize in the Worship for Company of Maker competition.
Beautiful. Yes.
And that far way, I connected to the millinery community, like the international millinery community, and I really wanted to go. And I went to the Barcelona Hat Days, and I met Christina there, and Ellie, and Maria, and uh, that was one reason I was ready to launch my label, because you need other people around you, and I can't really find them here in Finland. So it was super, super lovely to find those people there. And Christina's doing amazing job. She's really like creating and you are, and all these like
Thank
Millinery.Info
you.
and the Barcelona Hat Days and the Hat Magazine. They are the reason I actually work this way I do, because you need people around you who are interested in the same thing and want to talk about hats.
Well, I love talking about hats. I don't know if everyone's picked up on that given the podcast, but it's so wonderful to hear the Hat Magazine's also played a role in that. And um, yeah, it's such an amazing publication. I'm honored. I'm really honored that I get to be a little part of that too. And Christina's doing an amazing job with Barcelona Hat Days. I've been, but I look forward to going back again one day because it's just an amazing thing to be part of.
Yeah, and I wouldn't without the Hat Magazine or meeting those people. I'm actually going to the Musée de Chapeau in France to learn straw sewing, and that's thanks to Ellie. She has told about it, and she's a little bit organizing this course next spring. So I'm super happy that you get so supportive people around you, and people really want to teach each other and support each other. And I've found so many like Spanish milliners who are my friends now, and milliners like from Germany, and it's so fun to be this crazy scenery world. Yeah.
That's so wonderful. And you've had like, sounds like you found some your people and some great people to be a part of your community, hat community.
Yeah, yeah. It's a like I've met only like really nice people. Like yeah, so it's fun.
How we cannot wait to see what you come up with next. We're going to have to keep our eyes peeled for these collaborations. So
Yeah,
your Instagram is a feast for the eyes with so many beautiful pieces.
yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing the beginning of your millinery career with us, and we will be following along keenly to see what comes next. Thank you so
yeah.
much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me for this episode with Paula. It was wonderful to hear her story and hear a little bit about what she has planned for the future, so we're watching along closely. Thank you so much to our Patreon podcast sponsors. These include Barcelona Hat Days, The Hat Magazine, Millinery Australia, Louise McDonald Milliner, Lifted Millinery, Hats by Lico, Judith M. Millinery Supply House, Hatters Millinery Supplies, Hat Academy, Hat Blocks Australia, the Millinery Retreat School of Millinery, and Jennifer Hertz Millinery. We hope you've enjoyed today's episodes and thank you for our Patreon sponsors for their support. You can find a link to these businesses in your podcast app or across on the Millinery.Info website. I'm your host, Lauren Ritchie. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Millinery Info, and I look forward to talking hats with you again soon.